school fees. I've seen a certificate. Can't say. I think it came from Ogomosho. I said, are you not paying your own children's school fees? I said, I'm paying my own children's school fees. Why do you ask your client not to pay his own children's school fees? Eventually, I was able to prevail on him. And the school fees was paid. So talak, as I said, set free the two sides from all duties, rights, and obligations. But it does not free the man or the woman from their respective obligations to the children. So if it's the woman that is paying school fees, she has to continue to pay. And if it's the man that is paying the school fees, he must continue to pay. So let us not allow our difference to affect the innocent product of the union. So basically, we have two types of divorce. The talaq and khul. Talaq is if it is done by the man. And khul is if it is done by the woman. But people always think that the woman has no right to divorce. Particularly in the north, you'll be pestering the husband, give me divorce. Come on, divorce me. Come on, divorce me. No. If for one reason or the other, the woman no longer wants the man, she has a right to initiate divorce. A divorce at the instance of the woman is called khul, while that of the man is called talaq. If it is initiated by the woman, there's what we call Ida, that's the waiting period. The waiting period in a divorce initiated by the wife is 1 month. 1 month. That initiated by the husband is generally 3 months. As I said, generally, if the wife a menstrual cycle, thereafter, that is the end of the union. So if the wife is pregnant, she will wait until the child is delivered. So even if it is 9 months or 10 months or 3 months, she has to wait and be in the house until the delivery of the baby. So when the baby is delivered, that is the completion of the Ida period. If the wife is of age and no longer observe a menstrual cycle, is to wait for 3 months. So during these 3 months, or during the waiting period, divorce is just midway. It is not complete. Therefore, the husband still has the duty to care and cater for the wife. Feeding, clothing, the husband has to shoulder it. So, until the waiting period is over. As I said, waiting period is 3 menstrual cycle for somebody who is still menstruating, 3 months for a woman who is not menstruating, and until delivery for a woman who is pregnant. During this period, the wife will remain at home, and she is to be fed and provided for by the husband. The only caveat is that the husband has no right to cohabit or have sexual relation with the wife. So if sexual relation takes place, that is the end of the divorce. They are back as husband and wife. So if he really intends to have the wife to go, he will pronounce the talak again, and the 3 months will start afresh. The same thing if he cohabits with somebody who's of age. Even though she's not observing menstrual cycle, the 3 months will start running afresh. So if there's cohabitation and there's no pronouncement of divorce again, that is the end of the divorce. They are back as husband and wife. Amen. It's not everybody that is competent to divorce his wife. So the husband must be of age, not a minor. No, in those days, minor get married. So the person initiating the divorce must be of age. Then it must be freely done, not in the same by, my son, this is what you are tolerating. No, you have to go and divorce your wife. The father-in-law asking his son to do it with the wife. So it must come from the husband, not look, when next I come, I must not see this your wife at home. You should chase her away. This that she's doing, but you know the way I treat your father, is not caring for you, is this, is that. You went out late, you didn't come back until 11 p.m. So I must not meet her next time I come. And the other one, look, you heard what my mom has said. Although I like you, but you just have to leave. That's not a divorce. It must be from the free will and the intention of the husband. Then for those who are afflicted with a mental challenge, they can do the divorce when they are lucid, when they are sober, when they are okay. You know, this mental issue, at times it could be monthly. I think we work with the lunar system. Maybe the first, second, third of the month, they're always not stable. As on first, fifth, they are stable. So if divorce is pronounced when this mental illness is there, that is not a divorce. But when it's okay, it can be pronounced. So the same thing with the woman. If she has mental instability, she cannot initiate whole. She is to wait until when she's stable. But there's a caveat. If there's mental instability, at the instance or with the permission of a cadi, divorce can be done. So even though it's not stable, the wife or the husband is not stable, but he has come to the cadi that I don't want my wife again, or I don't want my husband again. So the judge can inquire, and after seeing the way the wife is treating the husband, he can pronounce a divorce, even though it was initiated when the husband or the wife is not stable. And the mode of divorce, some people put the mode of divorce as a category of divorce. There's a lian and there's zihar. Okay? So all those things are not, so Islam has its culture and perspective. What is prohibited we know, what is sunnah we know, but there are some culture that come into being. Like the Arab world, if we say you are like you address your wife, say you are like my mother, like a divorce. But here, if you say you are like my mother, maybe you are as beautiful as my mother, or you are as caring as my mother. The way you care for me is exactly the way my mother cared for me, so you are like my mother. So the Arab word, it means you are forbidden. You can no longer go into her. As you cannot go into your mother, or you cannot go into somebody you describe as your mother or as your sister. So those kind of phrase is a way of it's a kind of divorce according to some scholar. Okay? So, but I don't think we have that here. But there's also allegations. When you allege, or the greatest thing you can allege against a woman is infidelity. I will say, this lady is a thief. She may not even, or you say she is sleeping with somebody. It's the greatest allegation you can ever allege. So when a husband make that allegation, on the Arab culture, he said he no longer wants her. Okay? So I don't know of here. But I think here we can say, if I learned that Morufu and the motor park is your boyfriend, I think we do have it here. Over there, once you say that, it means you are no more. So there's some cultural perspective to the mode of divorce. Divorce, to be effective, according to some people, should be pronounced 3 times. Okay? So to some school, I read the Anafi school, you can pronounce the 3 once and for all, and that's the end. But to the Maliki school, you pronounce once, then she goes into Hida. So if there's no reconciliation, then it's final. But after the expiration of the Hida period, you can still reconcile. Reconciliation is still possible. One of the purposes of the Hida period is to see if you can reconcile. In most cases, reconciliation happens because it's difficult keeping a woman at home for 3 months, feeding and clothing, and without going near her. But no matter what he has done, within 2-3 weeks, your mind will calm down. So in most cases, during Hida, there's reconciliation. But if there's no reconciliation, at the expiration of the Hida period, that is the end of the union. So the wife is free to go after another man. Okay. So if there's a reconciliation after the Hida, and one thing leads to the other, and there's divorce again, it can still be done. To follow the same route. Assalamu alaikum, my lord. Retirement is good, though. It was until you get nearer before I could recognize you. You have to come, I think, under Islam. I wanted to position you beside me here, but we are an Islamic gathering. It's okay. She's our auntie. Whenever we run short of money at the law school, we go and meet her. I and my brother, we are at the law school together. It's our auntie at the law school. Auntie, big power. So she knows what to do. It's a pleasure having you, Arama. Welcome, ma. So, as I was saying, if there's reason for divorce again, you can still do it after the first one, and there's reconciliation. For the second time, if she did the Hida again, and there's no reconciliation, then the divorce has taken place again. You can still do it the third time. But the scholars are unanimous that after the third divorce, you can no longer marry her. So if you have done the first one, she did the Hida period, and she has gone to her house or somewhere else, you had a change of mind, you call her back and there's a reunion, do the second one, the third one, and she must get married to another person. So if that person divorces her, then you can go after her again. But this time around, it has to be formal, not just recalled. So you have to make the offer, and it should be accepted, and a new celebration of a wedding, the way you did the first one. So that's the caveat. So you can only do it three times. As I've said, divorce is allowed, but it's strongly frowned out. So we should do all within our means to ensure that we don't get to this situation. But if that is the only viable option, we can go after it. So upon divorce, the man is free, or men are always free. I think they say we can do up to 4. Yeah. So for those who have the means and who can do just, because it's not automatic. It's not automatic. There are conditions. Okay? So, which is another topic entirely, which is outside the scope of my work. So upon divorce, the woman or the man are barred from inheriting each other. So Islam made provision for the wife. It's not until you write a will. Your wife is entitled to 1/4 of the total value of the estate. If there is a children or there are children between the two of you, 1/8. But upon divorce, you are no longer, the wife is no longer entitled to inherit, but it does not preclude the children that you may give reason and you may not give reason. But for the whole, the wife needs to give reason while she's initiating divorce. Some people have divorced for the reason that they want to take another wife. Yeah, that's 4 already. And they saw one, another woman somewhere. So he may ask her, he may divorce to answer to marry. It's not encouraged. As I said, divorce is not encouraged. So with that, I think was one has to say that is the way it is. If something is good, it's palatable, we should say it. If something is not palatable, we should say it. Okay? Women, they like marriage. They don't like divorce. They don't like Mosino. Am I wrong? So that is the situation. Allah allow divorce. Allah allow Mosino. There's nothing we can do about it. And if you look deeper, whatever Allah prescribed is better for us. Better for us. So I think I've come to the end of the little that I have for us. So I thank you all for listening. For the unpalatable one, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
Kabirullah. Takbirullah. Can we say in our tenor for my Lord for that beautiful lecture? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ina tenor kalekausa. Wasa lili robika wanihar. Innosha niaka uwalabta. In Yoruba, they used to say, Shoki lobeoge. It is not how wide. You can see that the lecture is succinct. There is brevity in it. We have coincideness in it. And that's what we have gotten from my honorable Lord, my Lord, Honorable Justice A.M. Lawa. My Lord, we say Jazakumullah khairan once again. So we'll welcome few questions because as my Lord did said that he has another program that he has to catch up with. But we'll also welcome maybe 1 or 2 contributions. If it's contribution, you make it. If it's a question, you make it. But before I also hand out the mic for that, I will also want to recognize my Lord, retired but not tired. That's the retired Honorable Justice Sherifat Sholebo, yes. We welcome my Lord. We thank you, my Lord, for honoring our invitation and for gracing this occasion. We really appreciate this in our midst. Jazakumullah khairama. We appreciate you, ma. We also recognize the presence of our brother, the second National Vice President of MULAN. We welcome our brother Nosir. And you are welcome, sir. We also recognize the presence of our brother Jibola, very active at MBA, but at least we are seeing him today. We welcome you. We also recognize some of our brothers online. Brother Bijo, we've seen him online, and a number of our brothers that are online. We appreciate your coming for this event. We want the National Vice President to please come to the high table. Branosu, please come to the high table. So, gentlemen, without wasting too much time, can we have questions? If it's contribution, please make it brief. If you have a question, please just introduce yourself and ask your question. The ones that my Lord will want to answer, my Lord will take it. And I'm sure with those that my Lord also have beside him, if there are those that they can also shed light on, they will do that. Thank you once again. Brother Adebayo, right? Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I thank His Lordship for the well-delivered lecture, and I seize the opportunity to welcome her ladyship. I've not met her for a long time. Welcome, ma. Yes. It's divorce in Islam is a very, very pungent topic. But I wonder if my Lord will allow me to introduce something else that we face almost on a daily basis in this same regard. And that is to say that Muslim couples will still go to the registry. And that is despite the provision of Section 114 sub 6 of the Matrimonial Causes Act. And then they now want to divorce. They are now not sure of whether to do the talak, or what do we call it, or to go to the court to do to file for dissolution of marriage. I'm saying this because I think it is an issue that MULAN and all concerned members of the bar and the bench who are Muslims should look into and educate our people. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdullah Abdul Wahab. My question is to my Lord is about if you look at the issue of divorce in Islam, most times only the discussions only tilts towards men divorcing their wife. For instance, in the issue of care and all those stuff, what happened? What is the situation where it is the woman that pronounced the talak? At that situation, would the man will still take care of him, or I may take care of her or not? Thank you very much.
Do you have any more? From our sisters, do we have any questions, clarification? Jazakumullah khairan. Bismillah.
I couldn't really hear the second question very well. What I heard you saying is that the duty of care, if the divorce is at the instance of the woman, okay, it's the same thing. If it is at the instance of the woman, the husband must still take care. But this time around, the waiting period is a month. Instead of 3 months, generally, the issue in the case of talaq. As to the second question, the provision of Section 114 of the Matrimonial Causes Act, vis-a-vis Muslim, did the union under the Marriage Act. It's a question of choice. So some may choose to marry under the act. It doesn't make it a lesser a Muslim marriage. So once the marriage between two Muslims, it's a Muslim marriage. But even in some countries, like Algeria, all these North African countries, they have law regulating marriages, which is similar to what we have under the act. Even here, I think some mosques have been registered as licensed place of worship. Am I wrong? Okay. Oh, yeah. They can.
You are talking about independent Sharia panel, isn't it?
You can do statutory marriage, so-called statutory marriage, at 2 or 3 places, at the registry or at the licensed place of worship. So if you have a church or a mosque and you want a wedding to be conducted there, or marriage, you apply to the register of marriage that you want weddings to be celebrated here. You fill in the form, you do all the formalities, and a license will be given to you. So there and then you can conduct a wedding. So wedding conducted in most of these churches, you don't need to go to the registry again. You either go to the registry or you go to a licensed place of worship. And the mosque can apply to be licensed. If it's so licensed, so whatever marriage is conducted there is under the act, even though it's between two Muslims. So I'm not asking, I think there are some mosques that have been so licensed, or there's none. Okay. So any union conducted at the registry or at the licensed place of worship is a union of one man and one woman, to the exclusion of all others, as defined in Eid and Eid. So there, the only difference between wedding under Islamic law and the act, that there's a possibility of the male marrying more than one. Was under the act, if it's done at the registry or at the licensed place of worship, you can only marry one. The woman cannot marry another man while their marriage subsists. The man cannot have further or additional wife while the union subsists. But in the case of a Muslim marriage, the man can take further or additional wife while the union subsists, but the woman cannot take additional or further husband while the union subsists. So that is just the difference. And a man and a woman can enter into an agreement. Look, I'll marry you. You marry me, but you marry another person. There are this which says such a contract is enforceable. The laws in most of these North African countries, they recognize that. And once your husband starts getting too close to another woman, you can apply to the court. Just tender the document. This is the agreement. My name is Mulika. He agreed and he has signed that it's only me that will marry. So I don't know what he's doing with Khadija. And to be an offense if you go along to marry Khadija. So whether you do your wedding in a Muslim way or in a Christian way, in the honor they had, there is little or no difference. So the only difference is that it become an offense if you take further wife or further husband if the marriage is under the Marriage Act. Whereas it is permissible to take further wife under the Muslim marriage. It's not allowed to take further husband. But in Lagos now, bigamy is no longer an offense. So you can marry under the act, and after some time, you take additional wife. It is not allowed, but it's no longer a crime. That is it. So when you are now divorcing, okay, another difference is that under the act, the wife is entitled to 1/3 of the personal assets, not fixed. But under the Islamic law, the wife is entitled to 1/4 of the total assets of the husband. And the personal assets are the movables, maybe chairs, spoon, clothes, vehicle. Fixed assets like houses, the wife cannot go near it under the Marriage Act. But under the Islamic law, if you have a husband and there's no children between you, and there's 4 houses, one in Alimosho, the other in Alikumojo, 2 on the island, know that you are the owner of one of the. So those are the difference. I think I've answered your question, sir.
Now, the marriage contracted under Islamic law, and thereafter they don't proceed to registry. What is the status of that marriage? That registry, has that marriage been invalidated, or is still the Islam marriage valid?
My Lord, permit me to respond.
I know you are permitted, ma.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To the issue raised by our brother Adebayo, of course, these days, if I choose to marry, I will do engagements. That's traditional or customary marriage. I may choose to come to the mosque and I do nikai. And maybe before coming to the mosque, in quotes, I want to secure my marriage. We still go to the registry. I think that's the issue you raised. And that's under the law or practice, what is the place of divorce in all these double-decker, triple-decker marriages? Sometimes it's just double. But whichever way it is in this scenario, the law that provides for divorce in Islam is different from the one prescribed by the MCA. The statute, the MCA says if you want to go your separate ways, you can apply for judicial separation or you may divorce. And that means you go to the High Court. And the grounds for divorce are under the law. In customary marriage, you may choose to go to customary courts. But of course, the Islamic one, in Lagos, we don't have Sharia court, but at least you can go to the customary court, wherever you think. But I think they said they do some divorce at the 1004 mosque. But of course, it's not a state-recognized court. So, but like I said, the mode prescribed under these 3 categories of marriages differ. And there's an authority, I can't remember now. If you are married under customary law and then under the statute, you can't go to the High Court and then say that your customary marriage is divorced. No, that's the position of the Court of Appeal, that you have to go back to the customary court and divorce again. Your statutory marriage, you go to the High Court. So for your customary marriage, you go to the customary court. Because the futures of customary marriage is different. And I would give you the difference. In customary marriage, whatever the age, somebody must give the bride out to the family of the groom who would hand over. And before that time, bride price must be paid. The issue is, do you refund your bride price and all that? Of course, it's still significant, but the law is that you go to customary court who will look at the futures of the marriage and whether you fall under the categories of those who can be divorced. And of course, and I want to assume that that probably also applies to marriages conducted under Nikai and statutory marriage. But I agree with my brother Adebayo that the imams, we need to educate our people. Under the Evidence Act, all marriages are equal, whether it is statutory marriage, Islamic marriage, or customary marriage. The only difference is that if I choose Nikai, I have subscribed to my husband taking more than one wife, maximum of 4. If I go and do traditional marriage, customary marriage. I have it's open-ended. He may take 50, 10, 1, whatever he likes. But of course, if you go straight to the registry, you are subscribing to one man, one wife, and relying on the case of, I think, Okotiebo and Okotiebo. Yes, it is very clear. If the marriage, all these 2 or 3 marriages are to one person, one does not invalidate the other. I think that's the position.
Yes, that's the position, my lord.
Thank you so much.
I didn't know that you
My
were
Lord,
asking
for your
about,
intervention.
I didn't know that the questions about double-decker marriage. So as my lord has put it, the law recognizes most marriage under the statute are double-decker marriage. Or they will do engagements, do everything, and that is marriage under customary law. They will now go and, at times, I think they sign, they go to the registry first before they now do the traditional one, and they drag themselves to one church somewhere and do the third one. So the law recognizes whatever marriage is marriage, either under customary law in the church or in the mosque. But the later marriage, the one under the statute, converts the union to a monogamous one. So you can no longer take further and better wife or further and better husband. So you can only have that one person. And in the incidence of a divorce, you go and do the divorce at the High Court. So that is it. Thank you, my lord. My lord is an expert on family law, so she's speaking from experience.
We appreciate my Lord in our midst. We have 2 questions from our online participants. We are from Sister Laudable Latifa and Adeyemi Abijo. I think the first, if we can have Sister Latifa. Sister Latifa, can we have your question?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ramadan Mubarak to everyone. A profound respect to His Lordship. Thank you for the succinct lecture, sir. My question is pertaining to the IDA. In situations of mental abuse or abuse of any kind, does that constitute an exception for a woman to do IDA as a requirement for a valid divorce? That's the question, sir. Because there are circumstances whereby a woman is experiencing some form of abuse and there was no time saying leaving her in that house for another 3 months, maybe is already showing some detriment to her health. And because of that, it's not possible to carry out the IDA. But maybe the woman is even beyond the age of pregnancy. So the issue of being pregnant is not there. If she leaves on that account, does that invalidate her divorce to the man? Thank you, sir. Most grateful.
Brother Yemi Abijo, can we have your question?
Okay, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I hope I'm audible. Okay. I think the major issues I wanted to raise have in a way been taken care of by my Lord, the Honorable Justice A.M. Lawal and Honorable Justice Sholebo retired. However, may I just add this, maybe just like a poser for us to deal with as an organization going forward, and of course, as human beings. If we look at where the Holy Quran allows for Muslim men, to marry from other religion, while it does not specifically allow for the ladies, or do I say the women, to do the same thing. However, if you hear, if you listen to my Lord Honorable Justice Sholebo retired, talk about safeguarding marriage, the interest of women in marriage, you will find that most often than not, even the ladies in Islam would prefer, and I stand to be corrected, would prefer to go to the registry, even after having, the traditional marriage, engagement, introduction, and all of that, because they seem to want to protect their marriage from, I don't know how to put it, what my Lord A.M. Lawad said about going further than 1, 2, 3, and 4. Maybe this is a topic we want to throw up and discuss further for all of us to understand deeper. And I'll leave it at that. My Lord A.M. Lawad, Jazakumullah Khairan. Thank you for the precise and very short and precise lecture. Thank you, everybody, for the opportunity to join in this conversation.
Thank you, Brother Abijo. Yeah, Chairman.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, I think the major thing that leads to our brothers and sisters going for statutory, this going to the registry after Nekai or the customary marriage was because many of us wants to fit into the system, the syndrome now of Japa, that want to move out of the country. And without the marriage registry certificate, that they have been finding it difficult to travel out. However, in Lagos State, very soon, there is a succor for that, because the MULAN ESCO, we discussed with the Honorable Attorney General when we had a meeting with him, because we look at the provisions of the Constitution, which allow registration of marriage, any form of marriage. Once you marry under Islamic law, you can approach any local government registry to register that your marriage without necessarily making it marriage under the Act, and you will have your certificates. And we want that, after discussing with the Lagos State Attorney General, a promise that that law will be promulgated so that we can, as Muslims, we can always approach the local government, will register your marriage after the Nekai, whether from Ansaruddin or whatever, so that you can have your marriage certificate from the registry, which will not necessarily convert it to marriage under the Act. And that law, I'm sure the Honorable Attorney General is working on it, and it will soon be something of joy to all Muslims in general. Thank you very much.
With respect to the question asked by the lady, one of the reasons for divorce is violence. If violence is manifesting, so as not to lead to something terrible, one can initiate a divorce. So if violence is not the order of the day during Ida, one is allowed to move away from home and observe the Ida elsewhere. Thank you.
Thank you, my Lord. I think, Brother Giasudi, you say you have a short contribution because my Lord will soon be leaving. Do you still want to make that contribution? Or, Assalamu alaikum.
Now, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now, my contribution is on the talaq. It has always been used generally, talaq. But under Islamic law, separation between husband and wife may come in various forms, which does not always mean talaq all the time. Talaq is a general name. So talak, that is from the instance of a husband, which the husband alone has right over. So the one from the instance of a woman is called kulu, as the Lord has mentioned. But all these, and we also have fask. Fask nikah is the dissolution, judicial separation. We also have mula'ana. We have, that one is when there is issue on paternity. When there is issue on paternity. We also have, under Islamic law, what we call al-ilah. Al-ilah is, I will explain all, but I needed to. Al-ilah is when a husband vows that he will not meet with his wife. It must not be more than 4 months. Anything after that, if he doesn't go back to the woman or he pronounces talak, Sharia assumes the Islamic court will separate them. So first thing is on talak, we have the instant when talak is said to have been occurred. We have Sunni and Bid'ah. The one that is right when you say you want to divorce your wife is the one you divorce her when she is pure. For instance, after she has get cured from the messes that she has done. The one that is wrong, that is called bid'ah, is when meeting that wife, when she just finished her messes, or miss. This one is called talaqu bid'ah. And secondly is we have talaqu ba'in. This ba'in, we have, ba'in is when talaq becomes absolute, and it is of twofold. The first fold is the first either, when the woman she finishes the first either, the second either, and they call for reconciliation at that time. So the husband can take the wife back. Sharia says after that, there will be a new marriage between the two of them. But one that the husband will not be able to marry her until she marries another man and the person divorces her naturally. That one is talaqul bayyin al-kubra, when the first, she observed the first messes, she gets purified, second, third, and no room for settlement, and she packs. After that, the husband cannot get that wife back. But in all, Sharia, Islamic law frowns at, it takes all steps for us to block the way. So divorce. And that's why it gives room for, it says, when you feel there is a problem, that there should be a reconciliator from the husband's house and the wife's house. If it is until when that reconciliation is broken down, then the talaq is, but it is something in Islam that we don't joke with. And the second thing is on the mula'ana. Mula'ana is when there is doubt on paternity of a child. Either the husband alleges his wife of fornication, or the wife. So on this, when the two of them have engaged in the mula'ana, causing themselves, now, under the Sharia, the two of them can never marry again. Never. That is mula'ana. Fask is the one at the instance of the court, that when the situation among them, it becomes unbearable, the court will have to separate them. So, but issue of talaq, it is something that has to be like a ta'lim, Ta'lim is, it will be coming gradually, not on a stretch. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept the little as out of ibadah. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakumullah khairan, Brother Jalil. Gentlemen, we've come to the close of the program. Again, okay, a question? A question or what? Let me take the leave of my Lord. Just let me take the leave because my Lord already told us.
Granted.
Oh, thank you, my Lord. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Ali Jibril Abiodun. I'm the provost of MBA Lagos branch. I'm here in two capacities to represent my chairman. He has asked me to apologize on his behalf that he would have loved to be here. And I'm also here on behalf of Mr. Afam Osigwe, SAN. He has also asked me to represent him. He just got to know about this program, and he has also asked me to announce, not to announce, undisclosed amount to support this program. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jazakumullah khairan. Well, as we are rounding up, we welcome our Imam to our gathering. While we are rounding up, we have Imam Abdurazak Hamza and the team from the mosque. We welcome you and we say Jazakumullah for honoring our invite, even though you are coming towards the tail end. Our chairman, Brother Musbauddin Ajibola Kaka, will do the vote of thanks on behalf of MULAN. Oh, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We thank Almighty Allah, Azza wa Jalla, for giving us this day and for allowing us to have this session again this year. And this is indeed another memorable occasion. This year, we have two honorable, indefatigable justices among us. One, as the guest lecturer of today, in person of Honorable Justice M.A.M. Lawal, and our dear sister, Honorable Justice Sherifat Sholebo, retired but not tired.
We also have in our midst a president of the customary court, Mr. Oluwayo. You are welcome.
Okay.
I recognize you. Thank you for coming.
You are highly recognized, Mr. Oluwayo. Well, we thank you all for coming. Sincerely speaking, just like Honorable Justice A.M. Lawal informed the gathering that we changed the topic just very late. It was this morning that I sent this invite to Honorable Justice Sholebo, and here she is with us today. We thank you for coming. We thank you all, our invited guests, both lawyers and non-lawyers. We thank Almighty Allah, and we pray Allah will continue to give us the opportunity to witness this kind of occasion, and this opportunity too to continue to have this kind of act of ibadah, and may Allah continue to accept it from us. We are in the first quarter. We just completed the first quarter of the ibadah. We beseech Almighty Allah to allow us without blemish to complete the second quarter and the third quarter, and even the Shita Shawwal, may He strengthen us to be able to observe it and observe many more of it.
We thank you all for coming. I say Jazakumullahu khairan jasa. Thank you very much.
Our Imam will give us the suspension dua. Imam, please, the suspension dua.
Alhamdulillah wa kafa. Alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. We give thanks to Almighty Allah who has given us the day. We thank him, we bless him. First and foremost, for making the occasion a reality. We pray that this occasion will not be the last of its kind in the life of MULAN in Lagos State. May Allah continue to preserve MULAN. May Allah continue to preserve our justices. May Allah continue to preserve the Ummah. And we pray that the Rahmah, the honor, and the blessing of Ramadan should not elude any one of us. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم يا ولي الإسلام ثبتنا على الإسلام حتى ألقاك وأنا عليه. ربنا اذهب عنا عذاب جهنم إن عذابها كان غراما. اللهم اغفر لنا قبل الموت وارحمنا بعد الموت ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة واجعلنا من الصالحين. ربنا لا تعيذنا إن نسينا أعطانا. ربنا ولا تعمل علينا كما عملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تعمل ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin. Jazakumullah khairan. We thank you, everybody. Fisek, we recognize you. You are welcome. Jazakumullah khairan. Allah will
Please, I forgot to mention.
Iftar, and that is our learned Sheikh, Brother Yemi Akongbe, the former chairman of Lagos branch MBA. May Allah continue to replenish his pockets. Jazakumullahu khairan.